Have you ever noticed the more you try to chase anything, the more you repel it? What you seek is also seeking you. I believe that's a saying from Rumi. You may have heard the saying just in general anyway. So, what does that mean? Because have you ever tried to chase love? That, you know, codependent thing that you try to find outside of yourself? The more you try to chase financial abundance, the money in your bank account, the more you try to chase freedom and being yourself, it's almost like the more you really just suppress it. Have a coffee with me, Bensi, your divine feminine empowerment and spiritual awakening coach. So, if what you seek is seeking you and you're chasing it, all you gotta do is relax, right? Because the more you chase anything, the more you repel it. Why? Because you are incorporating that vibration of lack. You don't have it. So imagine this. Imagine 5 years ago, right? There was something you wanted, or a time in your life where there was something you wanted really, really bad. And then you got it. And then a year or two later, how did that feel? Felt pretty natural, right? So, in perspective for me, when I was 19 and I think I was 18, and I really wanted just a really nice car. And I thought a nice car would give me more confidence. Girls would like me more. That, I would be cool. And I just wanted to be on the road just like everybody else when I was driving to work in the city that had nice cars. I wanted to have that like same level of status feeling. And I thought having that car, that type of nice car, would boost my confidence, my self esteem, my worth, my value, right? I eventually bought myself a Mercedes. I think it was 18 or 19. And I know I did work for it. I busted my butt as a personal training director. I was managing the sales team, the trainers. Heck, I mean, at that age, I wasn't really good of a manager, right? I was more of, I got promoted to it because I was so good at sales. And I was educated in, personal training. So I knew how to create programs for people and have fun with them so they would buy. Either way, I got that car, right? Saved up. Didn't take me that long. Got the car, and I took care of it really well for like 2-3 months, maybe a year. It was really, really interesting, right? And then I made sure it was clean, really nice. I loved that car. Didn't really change anything though. Didn't change my confidence, how I felt about myself. Yeah, I felt a little cooler. I felt like I was on the same level with everybody else. And then guess what? Few years later, I had an accident with that car, totaled it, and then I got another Mercedes. This time, a level up from the level up I already got. And I love this one just as much. However, this time I was no longer the personal training director that I was, because I decided to go back to school. Originally, I wanted to get a business associate's. I also didn't finish my high school diploma, so I decided to go back and get dual credits towards my high school diploma and my business associates. I did end up finishing my high school diploma, so congratulations to me, as that piece of paper didn't change anything either. Right? I learned more just by going to school than focusing on the piece of paper. I actually left my job because I was afraid of, man, these coffee sessions that just go off the rails, huh? Either way, I left my job because I was afraid that if I didn't have that piece of paper of having a high school diploma, I was never going to get promoted to a VP, which was my next goal, right? And I put in a lot of work, yet there was other factors, including my age and my level to actually manage and train people to manager level, because I got really good at sales, had a really difficult time teaching it to people. Had a few people underneath me that did really well. And I got jealous of one of them. Jeez. Either way, my point is, I got that next car, right? Didn't have the big fancy corporate job. Was the car was like the only thing there, but like it didn't matter. I was unhappy. And because I was already unhappy inside, I was already depressed. I was already struggling with things. And, 30 days, 40 days later, Starbucks cups all over it. It was just a mess, right? And it's just and now I still have that car, by the way. And I've tried selling it a few times. So, but either way, I'm just like, whatever, just keeping it at this point. And it's a mess. Like, I love the car, don't get me wrong. Either way, like, it's just natural and I have it and it's like a normal car. And I've let go of the value of what cars have, so now it's more natural. It feels normal. I'm no longer wanting it. Why? Because I have it. Because I've had enough experience to have the thing. So the main focus is to get to that point of feeling the relief and ease of already having the thing. So imagine 5 years ago you really wanted something. Now you have the thing. It's natural. You already have it. You don't want it anymore. Maybe it is a car. Maybe you wanted a lover, and then turns out that lover that you wanted so bad wasn't a very good lover, right? Although you learned and grew from it. So either way, my point is the less you want things in your life that feel natural, you have them. So you're incorporating and showing, and the universe will reflect to you opportunities, people, places, and things that align with the vibrational bandwidth that you're emitting. It means it'll be attracted much easier to you. Because you ever get in a relationship and after not having one, and then all of a sudden everybody wants you? All of a sudden your ex comes crawling back. Oh, baby, I miss you so much. Like all of a sudden, like you get a new job, and now all of a sudden more opportunities are being shown to you, and more people want to hire you. Like, it's because you start feeling the vibration that you have it. And because when you have something, you actually move with more confidence, more flow, more ease. And the truth is, a few months later, if you're truly not happy inside, that was just a false pretense is the word. Maybe not, that might not be the word. A false, a mask. It was masking. It was a disguise for your own happiness and your joy and your bliss. Earlier today, somebody asked me, what I do for fun, and I replied, well, I play the game of life, right? And they're like, oh, like you try to make the best out of life and everything and whatnot, and I'm like, not trying. I get to wake up and show up to the best of my ability each and every day. Because you're just here anyway. This is the game. incarnated here on earth, a projection screen of your consciousness to experience all of this. It's really all pleasant, because imagine being source and energy and creation of all and having access to everything at all times. This game with cheat codes, right? You're gonna get a little bored. You're gonna want to challenge yourself. You're gonna want to have limitations placed so you can grow and expand and experience your creations. I hope your coffee's good. What kind of coffee do you drink, by the way? Let me know in the comments. I'd like to know. I always do espresso for my espresso machine, just black. And I like it because, yeah, it was a really acquired taste. And it gets some bowel movements going. I've noticed if I put like creamer or something in there, or I don't fast, and then I have like a not black coffee, then it might be a little TMI, but why not? Why not share it? That there won't be a bowel movement, which is weird. And then it goes like it's like pushed out like till later. Just sharing, just sharing. So here's the thing: it's just becoming comfortable with who you are in the present moment and enjoying and showing up every single day. And guess what? All that wanting, all that desiring is your root of suffering. So if you're tired of suffering, start living in the present moment. Yeah, it's a little difficult, especially if you have like things you're concerned about, worries, bills, the how are you going to deal with the situation at work? How are you going to set a emotional or vulnerable boundary to someone and let them know? Guess what? You get to show up and get creative with it. It's why you have imagination. You get to show up and you get to feel your feelings. You get to honor those feelings that you have and not put them away, and show up in the present moment and be able to honor your voice vulnerably and express it to others and rendezvous with others. It's a choice that you get to, and it's exciting. And the more you get to have fun with it, the less pressure you put on yourself that, oh, this person isn't going to understand me. Lack of understandings, lack of people, maybe you think people are going to misunderstand you. And I struggled with that. I strongly dislike when people misunderstand me. Well, up until now. Well, up until a while ago. However, that was a really huge thing. That was scary. It's like, what if people misunderstand me? What if people don't, you know, see like who I am, and they start judging me and claiming that I'm these things or titles and whatnot? Like, I might get called a furry for just having these bunny ears on. That doesn't mean I'm a furry. That's somebody else's perspective, right? Either way, it don't matter. People are gonna have opinions. Man, this video is off the rails. I like these ones lately. So, the more you stay focused in the present, the more you will attract the things that you want in your life. The more confidence, the more ease, the more structure. Just know you're part of this process of this consciously expanding consciousness of yours, right? And part of it too is, imagine if everybody, you actually can't prove anybody else's consciousness besides you. So the idea of this being a simulated reality that you've created, that's a projection on a movie screen from your higher self or your source self, whatever, right? There's no evidence that you are not the only conscious being here. You can't prove that. You can't go into someone else's body and experience their lives and know if they really have consciousness or not. Think about that for a second, right? And then if you think about that, it gets a little like I start to feel a little claustrophobic. I start to feel like I'm all alone. It's a scary thought. It's a scary feeling, right? So in the meantime, well, we get to enjoy this individual experience, and knowing that we're fragments from the divine, from source, having individual experiences. So yes, everybody is still you, except in different individual fragments So it's kind of family in a family kind of way, except that it's still yourself. So if you struggle with loving others or showing up in a way that's, you know, worrisome of your own self, like you're lacking confidence, and if you're lacking confidence, you're confident in that. Don't. Just go show in the world, show up, and envision the things that you want, and just live a present life here. Everything's okay. Everything comes and stems from how comfortable you are in the moment. Stop trying to get something. Just be. You want to be a YouTuber? Just start. Start making videos. Look, this is a perfect prime example. I have zero context besides the more you try to get something, the more you repel it. I'm just showing up. I made a commitment to myself that I'll make a video a day, no matter what. I made it when I got a call saying grandma's in the ER and we got told she has a week left to live. I spent every day with her and I still made a video. I still walked out for 10-15 minutes to make a quick video. And it doesn't matter. Even right now, like I'm just making this content, right? And this is the prime example. Everything's chill, everybody's relaxed, and I am going to share a couple things from a Julian Blanc video today. Let me grab that real quick. Because guess what? The more you're also showing up and not being yourself, right? I mean, yeah, you can have this like lack in feelings and whatnot. You know, admit it to yourself. They're not fun feelings though. None of these lower vibrational feelings are fun feelings. So pick better feelings. Process your emotions and clear and sit with them. Don't just ignore them. It's like a screaming child. Like you don't ignore the child, right? You sit with the child, let the feelings get processed through, then you move on. However, this one has to do a lot with confidence. Because the more you show up as like a fake version of yourself, because yeah, you could be stressed out, you could be sad or depressed, and the more you show up inauthentic to the people around you, the more you're going to put this expectation of yourself that you have to live up to. And you're creating a golden prison, Julian Blanc likes to call it. Highly admire this person as a motivational coach and transformative coach, whatever he labels himself as. Either way, though, you're putting this golden prison. You're putting the bars on your own jail cell that you have to keep showing up this way. And you can't change. You can't shift. Well, you can. In fact, you're so powerful, you can imagine anything in your mind in the present moment. You can literally just, go to dreamland and ignore the business meeting you're in front of. Is it going to be very appropriate? No, not to everybody else, maybe not in the setting. And to you, though, it is in that very moment. It can be. You can choose to make it. You might, people may see you as delusional or whatnot. However, you got to start benefiting yourself. You got to focus on your own well-being more than anybody else. So it's being so comfortable with who you are at any moment. Even when you're lacking things. Comfortable without it. This is the whole point of unconditional. Being so unconditional that you can stay in the vibration and feelings and emotions that you want to be in, knowing how to navigate negative ones, knowing how to pick and choose what's in your basket of stuff as you walk through life. And you're like, oh, I like feeling happy. I like feeling joy. Oh, this event just happened to me. Now I'm sad and depressed. All right, I'm going to feel it for a little bit. I'm tired of this one. Out of the basket. So even showing up as this like fake version of you because you think it's going to get you the things that you want, and it's going to, you're forcing manifestation. You're trying to show up in the world in a way that's inauthentic to who you really are. The more you're going to have to keep showing this bars of yourself, and everybody's going to like this inauthentic version of you. And then one day when you decide to pivot and shift and finally show up in the world the way you want, you're going to have a tower moment. Everything's going to come crumbling down like a cookie that's crumbling as you're eating it. Oh man, this life I've built is so good. I'm going to dip it in my coffee. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, so good. It's crumbling apart. Oh man, I can't even eat any of it because it's so crumbly. Like, and then you realize now there's crumbs everywhere. You got like a bite of it, right? And now you're like, well, I got to make more cookies, and this time I got to go back to the drawing board and make them less crumbly, right? So that way you can live a life that you actually prefer. So being in the present and enjoying the moment and realizing it doesn't matter what happens to you because it's going to benefit you anyway. You get to have fun. You get to just show up every single day to the best of your ability and follow your highest excitement. Because the more you do that, the more you show up and you have at least you have your goals, you have a vision of where you want to go and where you're and who you want to be and the things that you want. Great. Once you have that, wipe it and just keep taking a step and enjoy the process and the gap in between where you are and where till you have the thing. Because once you have the car, for 5 years later, there's Starbucks cups all over it. It has less meaning and less value and less traits that you've put outside of yourself that you think it gives you. By the way, I've had very zero serious buyers on the car that I've been trying to sell, so I decided to keep it. Like I have tried to sell it though, just funny. But either way, this puts you in a competitive state when you go in this golden prison, and you're gonna be always competitive. Like you're gonna be battling yourself and choosing like am I gonna keep showing up like you create this ego, right? And this ego is gonna do whatever it takes. It's like I feel safe here. If I keep showing up this way, people will like me. People will stay in my life. This I believe these things are gonna stick around. And the moment you decide to pivot and you have your tower cookie crumble moment, and you try to show up with who you really are, you may lose people. People are gonna crumble out of your life because they only like that version of you, inauthentic version of you. Well, good experience. Now you know you don't want to show up this way anymore because you're sick and tired of that. It's time to start showing up this way. Why tell people, oh, I'm doing great? Actually, I've been really overwhelmed lately. I've been really stressed out. And you know what? I'm still showing up to the best of my ability. I'm enjoying the moments. Just let it be. Be honest. Because who are you lying to? If everybody's just a reflection of you, who are you lying to? Are you lying to yourself? Or are you lying to them? Either way, it doesn't matter because you're still going to lie to yourself every single time you lie to someone else. And you're not being true to yourself and you're denying yourself your fullest expression. And that's going to suppress, that's going to build in the shadows, and you're never going to be happy. Because until you move past that and you just choose to show up the way you really want to show up, then happiness comes. Then happiness comes when you feel the freedom of being you. All right, let's wrap this up though. Let me know if this helps you, these kinds of videos. I would really like to know because I don't mind doing these. If this gives you like an example, I think it works. I like it. Well, I'm going to fuck around and find out. I'm going to fuck around and figure it out. Maybe I do add more structure. So it can be perceived easier on YouTube. Make a nice thumbnail and title for it so people can be lured. Like part of this whole thing is like I do get to get creative with it. Like human psychology. What is going to speak to someone's pain points so they can be drawn in so that way they can, if you've gotten this far in the video, you probably see my point by now. How it is to be authentic and raw, and it may be a little startling for a moment to most people. However, it's like I know when I've watched people be raw, I'm like, whoa, I want to be able to show up that comfortable within myself. I want to show up that confident. And it takes a little bit of finesse and creativity, your own unique creativity from inside your own music, from your own core soul frequency to show up and have fun to do it. And quit suppressing with this ego that you've built, this golden prison. Because guess what? You experience anxiety when there is something to hide, when you're afraid that people will see through who you present yourself to be. Like I said, the fake, I'm doing great, versus the truth, you know what? I'm not. I've had a very overwhelming day. And I'm working through it though. But that's the truth, you know? So summon that vibe of who you really are. And you're not a being of lack. You're an eternal spiritual being that has it all. And you're just here for the human experience. Learning how to do the manifesting. And manifestation is just becoming a vibrational match to the things that you want. Then they appear visibly in your life. Like here's you vibrating here. But here's the thing that you want, right? But once you vibrate to it, it becomes visible in your physical reality. Because everything is particles moving and vibrating. You just got to tune to that radio dial of which frequency you're tuned into. This is a law of attraction video and a confidence video and showing up as your fullest expression video of authenticity. But again, anyway, I do have to, get creative and finesse some of this stuff so I can bring people in so they can hear the message. So sometimes you are going to have to do stuff like that. Or you can just F it. If you let go of all the attachment, you just post it, no thumbnail, nothing. I might. Just to see what happens. Probably not, though, actually. I like having context of some sort or something that can kind of make sense to, because it's fun. Either way, though, much love, Cosmic Soul. Have a wonderful, magnificent, transformative, alchemizing day with this very raw and off the rails video. Let me know how you enjoyed it. Love and light vibration out. Oh, and like and subscribe, because liking really helps my channel and subscribing does too. And it also lets me know that I get the reflection that I am helping. So welcome to the channel, and grab yourself a coffee and hang out. All right, bye.